Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Doc Anime Robin. In this video, I'll be unboxing and reviewing the 7-changer from the Gatai series manufactured by the Good Smile Company, based on the character from the animated series Da-Garn, the brave fighter of legend. And let's take a moment to check what details shown on the box before we open it up. And again, as this character's name, 7-changer, he is essentially a transformer who has a total of 7 forms. His base robot form and a plane mode, a submarine mode, a truck mode, a tank mode, a jaguar or leopard, whatever big cat you want to call this as mode, and last one is a griffin mode. And here we have more pictures with all these different forms. We have a more direct view of what 7-changer looks like. And the eyes look glowing in this picture, and this might or may not be an implication that the figure may have a glowing eye feature as well, and looks like an attempt to give all the focus on to 7-changer. They took Da-Garn's name out of the title. The full title of the series should be Da-Garn, the brave fighter of legend. And on the back we can see again the all 7 forms, and he's doing a cross-arm pose. And with all these pictures showing his robot form, it's safe to assume this figure should be very poseable and articulated. And yes, it's actually shown here. This guy is this cat form is a jaguar. And now let's take the figure out of the box. And now let's open the box here. Oh, let's get this one. Here we go. And as you see, we have the big figure enclosing a giant plastic case inside the cardboard box here. And now let's get this out too. And inside here looks like we got instruction manual, which obviously tells us how to transform into the 7 different modes. And beyond that, looks like we also have interchangeable hand parts back here, and also the big sword of 7-changer shown in the picture of the box. And there's some other parts which I'm sure the instruction manual will explain to us. And let's check out the instruction manual first. Okay, so it's completely in the form of a book. That's nice. So it looks like the black rectangular piece is actually a stand, so you can set the interchangeable parts on. This is and we begin with overall view of things here. How you can change the hands to do various things, including one that holds sword. And now, apparently the rest, it's to show you how you can transform 7 changers into various forms. And now let's get the figure out and set it up. So the effect or alternate hand parts is in a separate case here. And we still have to unseal the main case. Oops. So again, we have the sword here, and now 7 changer, the sword, and now let's set it up. You have to first pull the arms. Pull them down like that, and do it with this arm as well. And then now you have to lift up the shoulder armor. And then just open up the legs here. And finally, we have to pull down the knee armor and just make little movement with arms. And so now here we have 7 changer as he appear in the front cover of the box. Now let's save the capabilities of robot mode last, and I'm gonna change and show everyone how he looks in the other 6 forms. And here's the first alternate mode, the truck mode. And in the anime series, Seven Changer merely used this form to like blending with other Earth vehicle, basically like robot in disguise, the main purpose of Transformers alternate forms. And the one feature this form does have in this figure is the wheels that so it can roll. And now let's move on to the next form. This is the tank form. Unfortunately, there's no wheels to move in this form, so it's essentially immobile. The one feature you can do is basically adjust the angle of the cannon, so it can look like it's directly pointing or shooting up in the sky. It can go as far as about 45-degree up. And here we have Seven Changer in his submarine mode. Now in this form, again, like the tank mode, there's no wheels or any movable parts that can allow the submarine to move. So it's essentially only good for, this is for display. And in the anime series, Seven Changer uses this mode to just basically flow in space. So it's like once again a robot in disguise purpose. Although you can always just think you want to take this into some kind of underwater battle. And here we have Seven Changer in the jet plane mode. And now if you can find a compatible display stand that can climb onto the figure of this size, you might be able to make it look like it's flying. That would be cool. And this is one of Seven Changer's aerial combat mode. And unfortunately, once again, no working wheels in this one, so in terms of functionality, all you can do is set still and looking cool, but it is very cool looking. Now we have 7 changer in his Griffon mode, and unlike most other mode you just saw, we actually have some articulation here. So the legs can move around, and the paw or talon of the Griffon is articulated, so you can adjust it as you set the Griffon. Same thing with the hind legs here. It almost looks like a horse's leg, so like horse kick. Same thing again here. And the wings can flap. The 45 degrees is probably the best angle, but anyway, if you want to set it differently, you can. And on either side of the Griffon head, these are like rocket launcher or missile launchers to make it more offensive. And finally, the beak of Griffon can open up. And here we have 7 changers, 7th and last mode, the Jaguar form. So essentially, the legs of Griffon mode turn into the legs for Jaguar. And like Griffon, we have some articulation in this mode. The legs can move, and since it's the same paws, they can also move. And as you see right now, the pose is like most big cats, one front leg in front of another. If you just want to set it up straight, you can also do it like that. And finally, probably the best feature in this mode is on the head part. It's also somewhat articulated. You can have a look up, so it can roll. The mouth can open, so this is like a rolling pose. It's also like a wolf howling. Ooh! Or if you want to just mimic a big cat roar, that'd be nice. And in the anime series, 7 Changer can breathe fire in this Jaguar mode, so the Good Smile company put enough details so that now there's like a flame sword in the Jaguar mouth. Again, the jaws and the head got some minor articulation, can move up and down to help you put on a good aggressive, fearsome pose, although it cannot turn left and right. It's the only imperfection in this design, but very good still. And now that we've covered all 6 alternate forms of 7 changers, let's return to robot mode and explore its articulation. Now that we almost completed putting 7 changer back to the robot mode, there's one thing I want to point out. So as you probably noticed during all the different forms, these 2 armor pieces from the chest are the 2 parts that will come off and keep being attached different parts of 7 changers throughout all kind of modes. So you gotta be careful with these. You don't want to lose them, otherwise you lose like a really important part of 7 changer. And they got really nice gold paint on them, so handle them carefully. Don't want to damage, scratch them. Now let's put them back on. There we go. And now let's begin exploring the feature available in the robot mode. Let's begin by exploring this figure's articulation. So here the head can turn left and right, or even more than 45 degrees, but obviously you don't want to do a 360 twist. And you see here there's a space between the neck. It's done so that the figure can look upward. But you can press the head down so that space is closed. You can also look down, but if you put it up, you can look down further. That's a purpose for this feature. Neck. And the shoulder is also quite articulate, or I should say the whole arms. Although the shoulder is in the way because this it can move, you cannot do a 90 degree. And obviously the arm can move up. There's a joint here for you to move the arms around. So you can basically make a lot of possibility move here, like putting up some kind of boxer defensor. And yes, this side is also joined here, so the shoulder can move upward, although you have to control it carefully, otherwise you'll push out the chest armor. So that's one design issue with these. It's like its own parts is limiting the articulation of the figure. And around its hip or waist can also turn left and right. It looks like it can actually do a 360 if you want. Oh, actually, sorry, not 360. Yes, actually really 360, but you obviously don't want that. So with that rotation, you can again put a lot of kind of poses from any angle you want 7 changer to do. And around its side, you can also rotate outward or inward. Actually, just outward. You can turn inward. So this helps with putting this pose for stance. And down here, the foot wasn't originally pushed out. You can pull it down, and now it has some articulation at its foot. Same thing with this one. So this again help the figure to balance itself when you put on all various kinds of stands. And now let's explore the alternate pieces you saw earlier from the case, and let's see how they can work with the figure. So let's get these parts out, and these you have to do carefully, gently. You don't want to do it too hard, otherwise you could send these pieces flying. If you do have to pull hard, only apply the strong force on the side that doesn't have those pieces. So this way, they are likely to be contained inside the case. See what I mean? If that had been done too hard, again, everything could be flying out. And here we have the 7-changer swords and alternate hand parts and the stand. Now let's see how they go together. Now let's put them together. This one you actually have to flip this side and see the hinges on the stand here. That's how you have to plug the hands onto. These are like the stand or holding on for the sword. Finally, you can put the sword on. So this is a great accessory because now whenever these parts are not in use, you have something that can keep them aside. You can actually set them in whichever direction you want to, like if the hands you want to face the other side, or if you want to flip the sword pointing right instead of left. But anyway, however you set them to, this is good for holding these parts for the figures, and especially if you want to put everything in the set on display. So if the poses you have the 7-changer do does not include these parts, you can just have them put them in this shelf for 7-changer. And before we test out the effect parts, let me show everyone how 7-changer can perform the cross arm pose from the box. So first you have to move up the blades from the chest armor, and this can allow you to move up the shoulder from without worrying about pushing the armor out. And now you just effectively have to put one arm above another. Here we go. From this angle, it'll look like he's crossing his arms. And now, to put on the alternate hands, it's very simple. All you have to do is pull out the fists. And now just put on whichever hand you want to seven changer to work with. Now, with the open hand parts, you can put down the hand around his waist or hips. The last pair of hands are the sword holding hands, and with them you can let seven changer hold his sword in either the right hand or the left hand. As you see, it's really long sword, and there's also another articulation points I missed earlier. The legs you can kick up, so if you have a stand, you can actually make seven changer do like a kicking pose, and it's cooler with a sword. And because with these articulation, you can also like make him, it's kind of doing different kind of attack poses with the sword. And here we have, this is like a pose taken from the final episode of the anime series where Seven Changer is severely wounded and is using his sword to hold himself up. So these are the basic features of the set. Now, I want to tell everyone to be careful if you're thinking getting this figure, because this is not for those who are faint at heart. So yes, it is a great action figure and really good collectible for whoever loves Transformers, or if you were a fan of Da-Garn, the Brave Fighter of Legend series, and if you were ever a fan who loves Seven Changer, yes, this is a very good action figure to have. However, it's not for those who cannot deal with complication, because there's a reason why I did not include the transformation process in this video, because they are really complicated, and this figure is essentially like a puzzle, a really complicated puzzle in the form of a robot that when you play with a puzzle, you turn it into different forms, and there's a lot of parts shifting around in this figure to reach each form. So, and even if you collect this figure, it's best you don't just simply try to turn it from one form to another. You probably want to practice the way the instruction manual tells you to many times before you get used to and fully understand the figure, before you want to like go from the submarine to Jaguar or robot to Griffon. It's all can be very complicated. So if you get this figure, you want to take it slow before you start trying to mess around from one form to another. You might have it completely tied up. And this figure is quite expensive, but for like a figure that's like a Transformers, but justly so. Again, the reason it's got such good looks and can look so well in each form is because it has many complex design and parts to make the transformation happen the way in the forms you saw. So it will take money patience and skills to really work with this figure. Please keeping those in mind before you decide to acquire this figure. This wraps up my review for this figure. Thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe to my channel. And please check out other videos in my channel. If you have any question, please post them in the comment section. I will answer with the best of my ability.